Well, welcome everyone. Good evening. I'm Diamond Bar's City Manager Jim DeStefano, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to the 2017 State of the City Address presented tonight by Mayor Jimmy Lin. I'm going to open tonight's program by introducing the elected officials with us tonight, the appointed representatives, and start with our honorable host, Mayor Jimmy Lin. Next, Mayor Pro Tem Ruth Lowe, Councilmember Carol Herrera, Councilmember Nancy Lyons, and Councilmember Steve Tye. We have several members of our City Commission family with us tonight, and let me ask those members of the Commission whose name I call out to please stand for a moment, and then we will provide you with an appropriate round of applause when the list is complete. Starting off with newly elected Planning Commission Chairman Ray Wolf, Vice Chairman Ray's in the back, Vice Chairman Ken Mock, Planning Commissioner Fred Malke, Traffic and Transportation Commissioner Ed Peachy, Parks and Recreation Commission Chairperson Manisha Sulaki. You don't see, there she is. All right. Thank you all for attending and being here in your service. This time of the school year, there's a variety of events at both of our school districts. Tonight, we have with us Superintendent from the Walnut Valley Unified School District, Bob Taylor. From the Walnut Valley Water District, please join me in welcoming First Vice President Ed Hilden. On the public safety side, it's a real pleasure to always recognize our public safety team members from the fire department and the sheriff's department. And I personally am very pleased to see our returning station captain, now commander, Jeff Scroggin, with us tonight. And Jeff has handed the reins off to a very capable new station captain, Al Reyes, who is supported by Lieutenant Phil Marquez and the rest of the Diamond Bar Station team. And also near the doorway, representatives from our local fire stations from the LA County Fire Department. Thank you for being here. And representing the Regional Chamber of Commerce, Diamond Bar's Chamber of Commerce, CEO Anthony Duarte. And just a brief shout out, a general acknowledgement to the representatives of our regional elected officials, Congressman Royce, State Senator Newman, and Assembly Member Chen, the representatives that are here tonight. Thank you very much for being here. And a brief shout out, since I have the microphone, to my team of city staff members, those that put together this program for Mayor Lin tonight, as well as my team of department managers who serve the city extremely well. They provide a high level of expertise. They're extremely loyal to this community, and it's been my ongoing pleasure to work with this great team. Thank you to all of the city staff. All right, so Mayor Lin is going to join us in just a moment, but before he does, I'd like to share a few words about Jimmy. Mayor Lin joined the Diamond Bar City Council in January of 2015. He was appointed to fill an unexpired term. The city at that time interviewed 11 applicants who were vying for the vacant seat. Many of the candidates were very well qualified. Mayor Lin came with a master's degree in civil engineering. He is a licensed, registered professional engineer, but not just in California, in 5 states. He has a 40-year career in traffic and transportation problem solving. Mayor Lin has served on the city's Planning Commission and also as its chair. He has served for several years on the Traffic and Transportation Commission of the city and also served as its chair. But Mayor Lin's service to the city of Diamond Bar his service is not unique to the city of Diamond Bar. Mayor Lin also served for 8 years as a city council member and as mayor for the city of Leawood, Kansas, which is a suburb of Kansas City. It's really no wonder that the city council appointed Jimmy to serve the unexpired term in January of 2015. His resume was impossible to overlook. In a further show of support, his colleagues chose him to serve as mayor pro tem last year, 2016, and as mayor for this year. Mayor Lin's wealth of experience with traffic engineering challenges and solutions, his leadership role also as the chief executive officer of KOA Corporation, which is a very large Southern California-based traffic engineering and transportation planning consulting firm, and his service as an elected official continues to serve Diamond Bar extremely well. By example, just recently, for the second year in a row, Mayor Lin was part of a small group of local leaders who made a recent trip to Washington, D.C. Why? To raise awareness and to continue to advocate for the necessary funding to finally fix the 5760 freeway. I will let Mayor Lin speak more to that project as well as other topics of great importance. At this moment, please, everyone, join me in giving a warm welcome to Mayor Jimmy Lin.
Thank you very much, Jim. You know, I didn't pay him for saying all that. I don't know where you dug out all those information. I didn't even know. I appreciate it. You know, we're glad that you could join us for the annual State of the City address. As it nears its 28th incorporation anniversary, Diamond Bar is doing extraordinarily well. We have lots of exciting things has happened in the past. We will have a lot of exciting things happen in the future. So in the next, you know, it's so exciting that we prepare a 3-hour speech, but knowing that that won't go very well, so I'll try to narrow it down to about 35, 40 minutes. So hopefully, Jim, and after you listen to these speeches and videos, you change your mind, you decide to stay instead, retiring. Okay, so we're living exciting times that will make for milestone moments. We're well underway on 2 key freeway projects that have been decades in the making. We are making progress on our plan to bring unifying and beautifying streetscape elements to key areas throughout our city. And then we are undertaking the first comprehensive update of our general plan. And we're doing this while continuing to invest and strengthen the aspects that can contribute to the high quality of life that has long defined Diamond Bar. Our quality streets and roads, our enjoyable recreational amenities, and our first-rate public safety services, to name a few. As Jim mentioned, I had the privilege of being appointed to the City Council of Diamond Bar more than 2 years ago. The opportunity to serve my community of 15 years as a member of the City Council is incredibly gratifying. I want to thank my council colleagues and commissioners, city staff, school district, and the public safety representatives, nonprofit leaders, and most especially the members of our community. So as a resident, family man, and entrepreneur, I can appreciate the challenge balancing the many demands on our time. However, I strongly believe that it is of utmost importance to not just be in your city, but to be a part of your city. Later in my presentation, I will be talking in more detail about what exactly is the difference between being and being a part of, and how the city is working towards influencing a more informed citizenry and participatory governing process. So now, the first area I'd like to address is undeniably our community's top concern and the council's #1 priority, public safety. We are proud to be one of the safest cities in California. And as of now, more than 20% of our annual budget is allocated to the public safety services and initiatives. It's very expensive to keep us among one of the safest cities in California, but it is worth every penny of it. Much like cities throughout the state, Diamond Bar has had to deal with effects of legislature as well as voter-approved initiatives that shifted some of the felony offenses from state imprisonment level to county jail and county probation level, and downgraded some drug and property crimes from felonies to misdemeanors. Now, where this may solve the state prison problem and help alleviate some of the state budget problems, it has brought up about a ripple effect that is causing serious strain on public safety resources on a statewide level. We don't doubt that decisions made at the state level with regard to restructuring our justice system were done with the best of intentions, but shifting from incarceration to treatment and rehabilitation without a thoroughly thought out strategy was fated to be fraught with challenges. So luckily, Diamond Bar is fully prepared for the challenge. We have an outstanding public safety team and a very effective policing program. Its effectiveness lies in its design, one that provides maximum flexibility and responsiveness so that it addresses our community's unique characteristics, challenges, and priorities. Suppression patrols and special investigation targeting crime trends are two of the key aspects of our custom-tailored public safety program, and they are yielding the results. Another piece of our public safety program that carries a lot of weight is community relations. With a population of nearly 60,000 people, we are not a small city. So while we cannot hold a town hall meeting that with everybody under one roof at the same time, we can hold a series of community meetings for groups of hundreds at a time. That's the premise behind our latest initiative. We call it Let's Talk Public Safety, and which essentially builds off the success of our Neighborhood Watch program. This Talk Public Safety consists of a series of meetings held at different locations throughout the city. The objective is to connect with interested residents to discuss matters of public safety, from emergency preparedness to fire protection and crime prevention. It is by design that the meetings are held not at City Hall, but rather in public venues such as neighborhood schools, churches, and so forth, and that we mail out invitations that are followed up with hand-delivered postcards. As I said earlier, time is precious and limited resources. So between work, family, and other commitments, there are so many demands on our time and attention that going to a city-sponsored meeting will almost always take a back seat. That's why this Talk Public Safety was designed as a traveling program so that the residents can walk or just drive a short distance to the meeting. We launched this successful program last fall and plan to continue until all areas of Diamond Bar are covered. As a matter of fact, the last meeting we held was a couple of weeks ago with more than 70 attendees. After a full cycle, we will update the program and start it all over again. So beyond the informing and making ourselves available to the community, we also look forward to a program resulting in new neighborhood watch groups. Because it is proven that best defense against criminal activity are alert neighbors who look out for each other and report suspicious activity. And this concept of neighbors working together to achieve a positive result is not just limited to deterring crime. It works in other areas as well. For example, neighborhood traffic concerns. When it comes to traveling by car, commuters are typically focused on one thing: getting to a destination as quickly as possible. For instance, like me, if my navigation system on my cell phone tells me that my travel time from point A to point B to be 20 minutes, I usually think that, well, how can I shave a minute or two to get there where I am going in maybe 16, 17 minutes? I like to drive fast, and my wife is always complaining about that. It's human nature. So when that original estimate changes because of current traffic conditions and 20 minutes becomes 20 to 25 minutes, we feel the need to sprint into action and regain that stolen time. So a major arterial street, a neighborhood street, if it's paved, it's all the same to me, as long as it gets me to where I'm going out faster, or at least as I think it will. Because wheels in motion are better than idle ones, as we know. So according to Waze, if you know what Waze is, it tells you, and the app tells you what's the best way to go from here to there in any given moment. So according to Waze, this alternative route is the way to go to escape slow-moving traffic. But the fact is, thoroughfares and neighborhood streets are very different in nature. The latter are designed for car travel as much as they are for non-motorized users, such as people on foot or on bicycles. Roads, on the other hand, are engineered to design heavy traffic, commuter traveling from one city to the other or one region to the other. So, when neighborhood streets experience issues related to excessive speeding and cut-through traffic, it has a negative impact on the quality of life of the people who live in that area. So to help address these traffic concerns, in 2004, the city implemented a program that takes a neighborhood-driven, tailor-made approach, Neighborhood Traffic Management Program, acronym NTMP. So NTMP is used in cities nationwide very successfully and has proved effective in improving conditions, largely because it is neighborhood specific. It's designed for a specific neighborhood, and because the entire process is driven, led, and shaped by those who live in the area with traffic problems and traffic studies to determine the eligibility. So in the coming months, you will hear more about NTMP as we increase our efforts to get the word out to the community about availability of this program so that more of our neighborhoods can take advantage and find solutions for their traffic concerns. So staying on the subject of traffic, I want to move from neighborhood level concerns to impact felt on our major roads. And it's not a secret that Denver has a long history of traffic congestion. If you look at the map of the LA basin, Denver is right in the middle of it. It's about 30 miles to Ontario, 30 miles to Irvine, 30 miles to downtown, right in the middle, which means that everybody has to go to downtown or has to go through our city. So our geographical location, the proximity of the 57 and 60 freeways, development activities in neighboring cities, the overwhelming dependence on cars, these are all the factors that contribute to the high volume of traffic handled by our road. Granted, traffic is not an enemy, but our business community, particularly the independent, non-franchise, family-owned and operated restaurants and retailers, they rely heavily on drive-by traffic. What we seek, however, is an equilibrium and effective and efficient transportation system where traffic flows with fewer and shorter delays while maintaining a healthy volume that translates into foot traffic for our shops and restaurants. So when it comes to traffic congestion on our roads, there are so many factors that we can't control. We cannot prevent commuters from choosing to use their car as their mode of transportation. We cannot tell people in Chino Hills to use Grant to go to freeways, to go to downtown. We have limited means to prevent accidents from occurring. We can't prevent our roads from being favored routes where freeway conditions are dire, but we are an optimistic, glass half full fighters at City Hall. We deal with the unfavorable by focusing not on what we can't do, but what we can do. And thus investing in technological and engineering techniques that improve traffic operations, such as battery backup system and the traffic light, so that with the power failures, the signal will continue to work. We have signal synchronization and a traffic management center where our engineering staff is able to monitor traffic, so we can go through the intersection, you hit a green light more often. We can detect the signal malfunctions and make timing adjustments to our signals based on our real-time traffic conditions. Together, these techniques contribute to a better flow of traffic and fewer and shorter delays at our intersections. But traffic issues are bigger than what local mobility and local conditions. Traffic is a regional issue because people go from one city to the other, from one region to the other. Our city is bisected by two of the busiest freeways in California. How busy it is, it carries 380,000 cars a day through this segment of 57 and 60 confluence, making our traffic load a regional problem requiring continuous, comprehensive attention, which is why since the incorporation of the city, Diamondback has been a leader in advocating and advancing regional traffic solutions because we are the direct victim of the circumstances. Two great examples are freeway improvement project currently in progress, the Lemon Avenue interchange and the 5760 confluence. Both these projects have been on the books for a very long time, even decades if we are talking about the Lemon Avenue interchange. So let me give you a little history about the Lemon Avenue interchange. It was March 1968, 49 years ago, when the Los Angeles County and Caltrans entered into a freeway agreement to construct an interchange at Lemon Avenue on 60 Highway to help resolve issues related to safety and congestion. When the city was incorporated in April 1989, 21 years later, is essentially we inherited the traffic issues caused by the missing interchange. But determined to move the project from the back to the front burner, the city partnered up with City of Industry and Caltrans to make the interchange a reality. And thanks to the hard work and perseverance of everyone involved, I can stand here today and announce that the new interchange at Lemon Avenue and 60 Highway will be completed, open for traffic in the summer of 2018. And this new interchange will eliminate the freeway on and off ramps at Brea Canyon Road and accomplish two important things at the best. Number one, it will provide a more direct route for delivery trucks bringing goods into and out of the commercial and industrial zones, which will result in less congestion and improved traffic flow at the intersection of Golden Springs Drive and Brea Canyon Road. Number two, it will eliminate weaving and merging conflicts that currently exist on the 60 freeway when commuters are trying to get into southbound 57 from the east. At the same time, the cars are entering Brea Canyon Road and trying to access the 60 freeway. The second freeway project that's taken place is a couple miles further east, where the 60 freeway merges with 57 freeways for about 2 miles stretch in the vicinity of Grand Avenue. This section of freeway, known as 5760 Confluence, is notorious for severe rush hour congestion and high rates of serious traffic accidents. In fact, it has earned a number of very notorious designations. Number 1 in the state, and number 6 in the nation for delays and truck accidents, according to the American Transportation Research Institute. And Caltrans places it among the top 5 most congested freeway interchanges in Los Angeles and Ventura counties. And I'm sure everyone here tonight are all victims of the circumstances. Addressing the issues that contribute the bottleneck conditions, delays in goods movement, and the air pollutions and serious to fatal accidents in incredibly costly $256 million. The city's budget is about $30 million, so you figure the magnitude of that would take the city 8-9 years budget to pay for it. Now, based on the current construction cost, $256 million. But so yes, it's very expensive, but the alternative of doing nothing is unacceptable. So as the traffic increases, congestion will get worse, adding to the traffic accident toll and delays in goods movement, pollution problems, and increasing the potential for more accidents to occur. The good news is that several elected officials and agencies have lent their support, either vocally or financially, to keep the project at the forefront and fight for the necessary funds. The list is very long and includes Senator Dianne Feinstein, former U.S. Secretary of Transportation Anthony Fox. He even made a visit to the site. Senator Kamala Harris and U.S. Representatives Ed Royce, Grace Napolitano, and Judy Chu. For their financial contribution, we acknowledge the City of Industry for its pledge of $35 million and the Metro for its $22.7 million funding commitment to this project. So when you add the $10 million in Tiger funds that we received in 2014, we get about $68 million committed to the project, just enough to fund the first 3 phases of the improvement. So the phase 1 is to construction of westbound freeway on-ramp from the Grand Avenue, which is under construction at the present time, with December as the targeted completion date. Phase 2 involves construction of the westbound freeway off-ramp and auxiliary lane to Grand Avenue. This part of the project is expected to be completed in the summer of 2018. And currently in design is Phase 3, the construction of street widening improvements in the vicinity of Grand Avenue and Golden Springs Drive, and this phase is anticipated for completion by the winter 2017. So that leaves the final phase, involving the freeway main line improvements and bypass connectors. It is estimated at $210 million. It remains unfunded. However, it is deemed a project of critical importance. It made the Federal Highway Administration's list of projects of national and regional significance, and is one of the projects that are set to receive funding via the voter-approved Measure M sales tax initiative here in Los Angeles County. The concern, however, is the timing for improvement. Waiting for projects turn in line for Measure M will mean that construction of this 4th phase will not start until probably 2028. That's much too long a waiting period for us. So our aim is that we can get started on the design engineering work relatively soon so that we can initiate construction in 3 years' time. So now it's called a shovel ready. You got a design, so it's ready to be constructed. And hopefully that will entice the attention from LA Metro to move our project further ahead of the others. And so we remain resolute in our efforts to advocate for a quicker solution. So in a tradition that dates back to Diamond Bar's first year as an incorporated city, a couple of us on city council and key staff members 2 weeks ago made our annual trip to Washington, D.C. in order to advocate for funding for Phase 4. On 2 days, we took part in 7 separate meetings to advocate the importance of taking this project to the finish line. And I want to again give credit to my fellow council members, particularly Carol Herrera, our most senior member of the council member. She won't give up and has been one of the Diamond Bar's strongest proponents for transportation solutions. So it's this tradition, a long-term commitment to priority problems that is one of Diamond Bar's greatest leadership qualities. That, along with our philosophy and practice of spending wisely, seeking out grants, and forming partnerships to maximize the impact of our local funds, to help guide our allocation of funds and provision of services. In a methodical manner, we make use of master plans, regular inspections and assessments, and a capital improvement project plan with a 5-year outlook that is updated annually. And we look at services and projects based on the long-term value they bring and the greatest benefit they afford for the great community. And we are in the process of creating a Diamond Bar's first strategic plan, which we will be introducing with our new fiscal year budget. We have always had annual goals and objectives that we follow, but as a business person, I can appreciate the value of having a strategic plan to map out needs and priorities. So with this format, it will be easy to identify how our services and program align with our 3 main purposes: serving as responsible stewards of public resources, being an open, engaged and responsible government, and creating a safe, sustainable, and healthy community. So this latter purpose includes enhancing the visual quality of our environment through our streetscape enhancement program. Some of you might recall that it started with the Grand Avenue beautification project that brought a series of decorative features and elements to Grand Avenue at the Golden Springs Drive intersection, and the easterly entryway into the city at Longview Drive. These projects, which were completed in November 2015, marked the start of the city's first efforts to better define the 15 square mile city boundary, particularly when it comes to our entryways and intersections, which were neat and well maintained, rather nondescript. So as a result of the opportune timing, last year we were able to partner with Lennar Homes, the developer of the Willow Heights residential community, to create a 3rd point of interest at the corner of Brea Canyon Road and Diamond Bar Boulevard. And this year, we will further define our streetscape theme with additional projects that will bring enhancements in the shape of entry monument signs, similar to the one at Longview Drive for the city entryways on Golden Springs Drive near Colburn Drive and the Diamond Bar Boulevard at Temple Avenue. And construction of these signs will begin this summer. And soon after that, we will see yet another streetscape enhancement project take place on Diamond Bar Boulevard between the 6th Freeway and Golden Springs Drive. One project at a time, we will update our image so that it better reflects what a special and distinct place Diamond Bar really is, so that there is prominent and palpable sense of arrival and sense of place that make residents and business owners proud to belong, and leaves a compelling and lasting impression with visitors, while also raising our profile and creating an environment that attracts developers, maybe even inspiring existing business and shopping centers owners to upgrade or improve their facades. And this creation of environments that are welcoming and add to the community's character and quality of life is not just limited to our main thoroughfares. Recently, several of our neighborhoods also benefited from improvements to their nearby parks. Stardust, Peterson, and Longview North neighborhood parks all received a series of upgrades ranging from an ADA access and landscaping to new play equipment and picnic tables and rest areas. And our newest residential community, Willow Heights, enjoyed the opening of Diamond Canyon Park, a truly unique recreational amenity consisting of walking trails, demonstration gardens, fitness stations, and play equipment. And come spring, our network of parks and trails will receive yet another boost when Pantera Park Trail is completed. And the Lakestone Neighborhood Park, adjacent to the South Point residential development, is open to the public. We certainly have much to be proud of and thankful, and that includes positive signs on the economic front as well. This time last year, we were celebrating the opening of the Smart and Final Extra in a location formerly occupied by Vaughn's and for a short while Hagen. Since opening its doors, it has been a popular place to fill up on groceries and other household items. In terms of new restaurant and dessert spots that recently opened, we have Farhad Restaurant, Kinbat Korean Rolls and Bowls, Snowy Village, Mr. Poke, and Sugar Tag. And I encourage you to try them all. It's all great places to try it out. And come late April, we anticipate that the owner of the site that was formerly Coco's will open its new restaurant. It's called Blue Ocean Seafood Grill. Sounds very enticing. The Target shopping center has also seen an increase in foot traffic with the addition of a new drive-through Starbucks, a T-Mobile retailer, and a Jimmy John's restaurant. And this year, we can look forward to a new place to shop for groceries, grab lunch or dinner, and do some shopping as plans continue to move ahead for the former Kmart location to be converted into a new shopping destination that will be anchored by Sprouts Farmers Market and Mr. Tai is hungry. And Ross Dress for Less. Yeah. And include the eateries Chipotle Mexican Grill and, and Coffee Beans and Tea Leaf, as well as a couple other retailers. So while it's true that our business community is very modest in size, we can always find what we are looking for if we take the time instead of automatically crossing city boundaries to shop elsewhere. So So I can't stress enough the importance of shopping local because we owe it to ourselves and to our businesses. Because a portion of the sales tax you pay, 1%, goes back to the city where you make your purchase in order to support the key services from recreation to public safety. So 1% does not seem like much, but collectively it adds up and makes a difference. There are also other economic development efforts that, while appearing to be at standstill, but have involved work behind the scenes. One such case is the Brea Canyon Road trailer storage. The property owner reinitiated talks with the city about potential of redeveloping the site with a nationally franchised multi-story quality hotel as an anchor. And at the beginning of my remarks, I touched upon the civic awareness and engagement and said I would be getting back to the subject later on. So given that incorporation of a city is a citizen-driven process, it makes sense that a participatory governing system be a given. And after all municipalities are a form of government closest and most accessible to the citizens, and the one with most impact on our daily life. If you're here tonight or you are watching the recording of this event, you don't need convincing. You are likely serving on a commission, volunteering with a service organization, or getting involved in our local government in a variety of other capacities. But I want to reiterate the importance of our right and responsibility as members of stakeholders of the community to remain civically educated and engaged and to contribute to the decision-making process when the opportunity arises. So one of these opportunities, and one that will not come around for another 20 years, is the comprehensive Diamond Bar General Plan Update Project, which is now underway. As a matter of fact, last night was a meeting between the council and planning commission and a consultant and the public. Was a very successful meeting. The project, which started last summer and will conclude in summer 2019, examines in great detail several key areas that define Diamond Bar, such as development, housing, transportation, environmental quality, public services, socio-economical, and the parks and open spaces, with the aim of translating the research findings, expert opinions, and the goals and values of the community into policies and actions that will guide our city's physical, social, and economic growth through 2040 and beyond. So let's watch tonight's video presentation highlighting our General Plan Update Project, please. Our community is celebrating its 28th years of incorporation, and we have seen so many positive changes during a near 3 decades history as a city. The foundation for our community was laid out in our first general plan, which was adopted back in 1995. Since that time, the framework of the plan has been our roadmap, which has led us to the successful community that we currently enjoy. But now it's time to refresh our general plan and begin to create a new pathway for Diamond Bar's future.
The general plan is the city's primary guideline for very important elements that make up our community and has an impact on all aspects that involve the quality of living within our city. While the general plan is meant to move us forward in many ways, it can also act as a means to preserve attributes of our past that we cherish. Diamond Bar has accomplished a great deal since the adoption of our existing plan more than 20 years ago, and it has created a community that is known for its quiet residential neighborhoods, parks and open spaces, and great schools.
A general plan is often described as the constitution for a city. In California law requires every city and county to adopt a general plan to establish goals and policies and objectives to guide the jurisdiction's growth, transformation, or preservation, or some combination of those elements for a period of approximately 20 years.
This new venture of updating our general plan has now been put into motion through a series of recent activities, which include initiating an online survey that was open to residents. This gave citizens an opportunity to provide their insight on what direction our community should move towards over the next quarter century. The city also conducted a workshop where community members engaged in a variety of roundtable discussions which targeted the areas of our local economy, traffic, recreation, community growth, business expansion, and public safety.
State law requires every general plan to cover 7 topic areas, and they're called elements. Those 7 elements are land use, circulation, housing, open space, conservation, noise, and safety. Our 1995 general plan covered all those topics. We have some elements that combine those topics, and then there are optional elements that can also be added if they're appropriate to fully reflect the community's values and aspirations.
This general plan initiative has also seen the creation of a general plan advisory committee that is meeting together over the next 2 years to discuss these crucial issues that are of concern for our community. Public input is still being encouraged in this process, and our citizens will have continued opportunities to provide their views into what our community will adopt with the updated version of our general plan.
Well, as committee members, we're sort of ambassadors. We go out to the community and we try to get a vision from what people want. What direction do the people want the city to go? I'm the chairman, so I try to make as many contacts as I can, and every time I get a chance, I talk to people and ask them what they would like to see. What direction would they like to see the city going? In the next 2 years, we'll continue to have community workshops. We'll continue to go out and talk to the community and get input. What we'll do is put together a draft plan that will be presented to the Planning Commission. The Planning Commission will then give it to the City Council for approval. This is setting our future for the next 20 years, and we pretty much have to follow the plan. So hopefully, we'll come up with a shared vision of what the community wants, and that will be accepted by both Planning Commission and City Council. So I look forward to talking to more people and getting more input, and hoping that that we'll get a direction, we'll get a sense of direction on where this community wants to go.
Our community has gained a sterling reputation among our neighboring communities here in the San Gabriel Valley, and this is largely due in part to the commitment we have shown as a community in adhering to our goals that were laid out in our initial general plan. Now that we are setting our sights to see Diamond Bar continue its strong and positive reputation, our general plan update is a crucial ingredient in seeing our great community move forward in the future years to come.
So we are all very excited to see this revision process for our general plan. As members of our community, along with city staff and city council, are all working together side by side of each other to make this revised general plan add another foundational layer for the future of Diamond Bar. So get involved, attend meetings, talk to our community members, and stay up to date by looking at our special website. This is your community, and you can make a difference. And thank you for helping to set a bright future for you, your kids, as well as your grandkids of this great community.
Thank you. We got 40 more minutes to go. Just kidding. So this project, which started last summer and will continue in the summer of 2019, examines in great detail several key areas and define Diamond Bar's living. So we are now 1/3 into the comprehensive general plan update. The challenges and opportunities we will face in the next 2 decades are many, but I'm confident that the city working collaboratively with the community will chart a course for Diamond Bar's future that embraces our collective values, priorities, and keep us being the distinctly special community we are all proud to be a part of. So before I conclude, I would like to thank my colleagues. This is the best city council that you can work for. We are very working together without any, we argue sometimes, but there's no animosity among us. It's the best council the city of Diamond Bar can have. And we have Jim and his staff. We thank you very much for your assistance, not only just tonight, but throughout the whole year. Thank you very much. So with that, thank you again for joining us, and good night.